Professional wrestling is the one true sport. Other sports have their share of intense, dramatic moments, but nothing can compare with professional wrestling. Welcome to Wrestling History X, where three friends come together to talk about the stories behind the matches. I'm Matt.
And I'm a jacked up bitch.
Ooh.
I'm definitely not as jacked up as that nice woman.
No.
That's that sweet lady. God rest her soul.
Or the car that Shane had to get rid of, and so he couldn't be here.
Yeah, absolutely. Our hearts are with you.
We love you, Shane. Hopefully you'll be back soon. But welcome to episode 349, St. Valentine's Day Massacre in your house.
Ooh, there's a tagline. There's no love lost in this In Your House classic, featuring the biggest superstars of the Attitude Era. That must have just been on the VHS tape.
Probably.
Okay.
I was like, did they call up WCW for tagline help? Because that's totally a WCW tagline.
Yeah, it says the Attitude Era too, so it's like, oh, this must have been like a VHS or DVD, like blurb or something on the cover. Yeah, definitely not of the era.
But this is the 27th In Your House produced by WWF. It would take place on February 14th, 1999, from the Memphis Pyramid in Memphis, Tennessee, with an attendance of 19,028 and a buy rate of 450,000 people.
Damn.
That's a lot of people.
Yeah, it's great. They're killing it. And you know what? They've earned it.
They have earned it. This is also the last In Your House. Technically. In this run of In Your House is like NXT takes it over.
Yeah.
Takes over.
But in the original
I promise that was unintentional.
Yeah, I saw the look on his eyes when he said it. He was like, oh, yeah, there was a joke there.
But NXT brings it back at one point, but that's way down the road.
The inaugural run of the In Your House. And they've been like kind of pushing it away.
Yeah.
Like to have that fun and goofy set. It looks like the front home of a suburban house.
We don't got that anymore.
No. Production has gotten larger. The shows have gone to full length.
Yep.
So why are they in your house? They used to be in your houses because they were the affordable in between pay-per-view.
Yep.
But now every pay-per-view is a big boy pay-per-view.
That's right.
Out here in 1999.
They're all big shows.
Yep.
But we are in Memphis, Tennessee. So, as Shane usually does, takes us a culinary trip around the world. And I did the same for us this week because I love eating food. So
yeah, it's nice.
It's kind of a nice little treat for us. And
we can't abandon our boy.
That's right. And I was like, hit up the old Google machine, as one does.
Yeah, Memphis barbecue. Isn't that Rubs?
And yeah, Memphis barbecue, of course, like the big thing. Had brisket a couple weeks ago while I was in Dallas.
Yeah.
So I was like, we're not going to do this. But I did find that Memphis is the wing capital of the U.S.
What about Buffalo?
It's
Dang.
I think it was some magazine, that's what it named.
Yeah.
Because it actually has twice as many wing restaurants than it does barbecue restaurants. I was like, that's crazy. But they also, obviously we all know Buffalo has its signature flavor, the buffalo sauce.
The thing you think of when you think about a hot wing.
Exactly. But Memphis has its own as well, called Honey Gold, which is like a honey mustard, along with like molasses and apple cider vinegar. It sweet and tangy. I'll
agree to that.
It basically takes like what you think of with like Carolina barbecue sauce.
Absolutely.
And adds the mustard tang to it.
Yeah, well, or is it the molasses that you think it adds to? Because is molasses in Carolina barbecue? I know it's full of mustard.
It may not be.
But either way, it's very similar to like the Carolina barbecue in flavor.
Absolutely. And so I found this, and then I was just like, okay, let's see if I can find someplace around town
that has a honey gold
wing. And just so happens there's a wing restaurant like literally around the corner from where we record called Knockout Wings. So we're kind of doxing ourselves a little bit here, but it's fine. It's fine.
Come at me. But that place just opened, I think.
It opened this year sometime.
I think like not too long after I moved back to this area.
Yeah. So went and got us some wings. We tried them out.
Pretty good.
I literally told Michael, I was like, next time we have us a party over here, I'm thinking I may have to go pick up some more Knockout wings.
I mean, yeah, I had been there once. I did not try that particular sauce, but it seems like they have a lot of sauces, and some of them that I didn't quite know they might be. Honey Gold, I didn't know what it was. I guess I would have assumed that it was some kind of honey/mustard thing, considering honey and the word gold, but I was unaware of it. So one time I ordered from there, I probably did something like traditional. I bet I probably did a lemon pepper and a buffalo.
Yeah, I'm not a big buffalo or lemon pepper, and I know those are like the most popular sauces. I'm usually like the teriyaki I mean, I really like these honey gold ones. Like I was kind of
They have the sweet and the tang that a teriyaki does, but obviously not without all the ginger and soy sauce.
Because I wasn't sure. Because like usually, what I've read about the honey gold is that like they take the barbecue sauce and the mustard and they mix, but then they throw in some like Frank's or something like that to give it the spice level.
Oh yeah,
And I wasn't sure exactly what the spice level on them was going to be. I didn't find that there was any spice, really.
It was honestly just kind of like a smoky honey mustard, lightly smoky honey mustard. It was a good flavor. A deeper honey mustard flavor.
Yeah.
It wasn't too sweet. It was nice. I would definitely order those again.
But if you're ever at a wing restaurant and you see honey gold...
Yep, you're getting more than 6, so make half of it honey gold.
Try out the honey gold. I give my utmost recommendation for it.
Do 6 hot, 6 honey gold.
There you go.
Yeah.
And if you're in Oklahoma City, hit up Knockout Wings.
It's local.
That's right. Something else that would happen right around the same time as St. Valentine's Day Massacre, Collective Soul's Dosage would release earlier in the week.
Hit me with a Collective Soul song. I know the band name, but what's a tune? I get them mixed up with like Live and other things of that era.
Oh, yeah.
Or of that
Shine and December are probably their 2 biggest ones. Heavy is the one off of Dosage, I believe.
None of that's ringing any bell. I know the name Collective Soul.
Run. Run.
I guess I just need to hear the choruses.
Like, you can probably get the idea of Run from the intro.
Just hitting one chord right now. Come on, buddy. Okay.
Before.
Yeah.
And then heavy.
Oh. All right. And they're kind of, like Wallflowers adjacent.
Yeah. All your weight, it falls on me.
It's like somewhere between...
Falls on me.
Yeah, somewhere between Bush and the Wallflowers. Yeah. Because it's not like as heavy as Bush, but it's... Yeah, but it's a little heavier than the Wallflowers.
This is one of those bands that, like...
Everybody knows their name.
I liked their music, but I never
liked it enough to buy the
I
CD.
never jumped on the bandwagon.
Yeah.
Like, if they came in concert as, like, an opening band, which I'm sure they have many a time.
If they were opening for Third Eye Blind, you'd probably be there.
I wouldn't
be mad about it.
I wouldn't stick my nose up at the opening band, basically.
Yeah.
I mean, it looks like, they're from Atlanta. So, I mean, Southern rock. I don't know if I get. I mean, I guess I kind of get Southern rock from them.
I get people from the South, but like I don't know if I can even name a band from Atlanta.
REM would be the most popular Georgia
REM's
band.
They're from Athens, Georgia.
Yeah, I mean,
I was just thinking of Atlanta specifically, but yeah, I see what you mean. I gotcha.
Trying to think here. I mean, I know they had Shine.
B-52s, although they're also from Athens.
I said Shine, December. The World I Know is another one from earlier albums.
Yeah, this was never in my rotation, but it's a band name that is ever present with the 90s, like post-Nirvana radio rock. Yeah.
Heavy spent 15 weeks at number 1 on the mainstream rock charts.
Oh, wow.
Let's see here. I guess the producer also produced some Duran Duran, which that's a pretty cool. I talked about this last week and how we Google stuff live, but we usually have other people talking, so...
yeah. I'm not Googling at the moment. I'm just taking it in.
I guess they toured with Hootie and the Blowfish and Edward McCain last year. I would have totally gone to that show, because that's just right up my alley.
That is up your alley. I do like Hootie. I can't speak too much to Edward McCain, but I do remember that Edward McCain song.
I mean, he really just has the one song.
Yeah.
But they released an album last year.
Good for them.
Like, they've literally
kept it moving.
Pretty consistent every 2 to 4 years or so.
That's pretty good for a band that...
I guess their longest was between 2009 and 2015. They took a...
That's a pretty big break, but
took a 6-year
it's
break.
pretty impressive that they put out an album in 2009. I would have never guessed that.
I know. I wouldn't have thought that they were still putting out new music, but hey...
Happy to hear it.
Absolutely. Like, hey, if anybody out there is a Collective Soul fan, like, let us know what we need to listen to.
Send us a playlist.
From some of their newer stuff, because, I mean...
You can send me a greatest hits, because obviously I was having a tough time trying to nail down a chorus in my head.
Like, as soon as the songs start, I'm like, oh yeah, I know that song, but yeah, like, even whenever I was saying the name, I know it, I just can't think of what it is.
Yeah, it's one of those things too. It's like, oh, I know
but also
the name.
It's a generic song title of Run.
Yeah, I hear the name Collective Soul more often than the name Dishwalla, but I know Counting in Blue Cars much better than any of the Collective Soul songs. That's just when the radio was a thing. That things like that would happen.
Well, enough about Collective Soul. Let's talk some St. Valentine's Day Massacre.
I do love this poster, which is Vince McMahon just holding roses and also holding a very evil stare.
So we head back to 1939, where the North Side Gang gather at Lincoln Park, Chicago, and they're disguised as police officers. Oh, just kidding. We're not going to actually talk about the actual St. Valentine's Day Massacre.
So wait, where are we going?
The WWF Attitude package plays, and then we get a very retro black and white video package, complete with jaunty piano and a female voice singing about how her Valentine drove her crazy. While we see clips of Austin, McMahon, Undertaker, The Brood, Rock, Mankind, Chyna, Triple H, and Mark Henry. It transitions to color to continue seeing more of Stone Cold and Vince's feud, as Western Union presents our show as Pyro goes off, with Michael Cole welcoming us, joined by Jerry the King Lawler, who gets a very loud chant from his hometown crowd.
Yep, there's plenty of Jerry, the King for mayor and all those stuff. People are happy to see their hometown hero.
And I don't know if Lawler was just sick or...
He just partied too hard the night
before, but he was definitely losing his voice throughout the show.
Yeah, it starts from the top. Yeah. It's not a development throughout the show. It starts the first word and just kind of deteriorates his skills.
But we go straight to our first match. Goldust versus Bluedust.
Who?
So Cole reminds us that this all started when the Golden One stole head, only for Meanie to retrieve it on an episode of Raw, which we talked about a couple of weeks ago. Or was that the episode that I talked about by myself? It probably was. Michael, you watch these shows. You know what we're talking about.
Yeah. They stole head. What else do you need to know?
We also get footage from an episode of Raw that aired the previous evening on a Saturday, which seems like a weird choice to make. But the dog show was probably happening on Monday. So
Westminster.
They moved Raw to Saturday, but then had the pay-per-view the next night. So just felt weird. But Bluedust is laying naked on a couch, mocking his opponent. And then during Goldust's match, the Golden One would be given a blue bath.
You've all seen Carrie.
Yeah.
Instead of pig's blood, it was blue paint.
Yeah. And the match is going with Goldust going right after Meanie, hammering away, hitting a spine buster, ducking a clothesline, and yanking his opponent down to the mat. The Golden One continues the punishment with chokes in a corner, only for his whip to be reversed. But Bluedust telegraphs his move, allowing Goldust to hit a drop-down uppercut and a clothesline that sends Meanie to the floor. And the Golden One chases him down, tossing Bluedust back in, only for Meanie to take advantage by stomping away on Goldust as he re-enters, working the leg with a spinning toe hold until the Golden One can kick him away.
It's a pretty horny toe hold.
Yeah, he was shaking his blue butt.
Yeah, his blue thing.
Goldust retaliates by spanking Bluedust and setting him up to deliver some shattered dreams. But Meanie escapes long enough to get a big boot up and heads to the top for a Meanie salt.
Blue salt.
Only for the Golden One to move in time. Goldust then nails a curtain call for the pin and the win.
Comedy.
Post-match, the Golden One sets Bluedust up again in the corner to shatter his dreams before leaving to the back.
You don't get to mock Goldust.
You shouldn't be able to.
I mean,
people do though.
Yeah, but he's not taking it from the blue fucking Meanie.
No.
Although it was very funny. I had a good time with the silliness of Bluedust, and I always do.
Yeah.
At least this is the show, the Bluedust show, but the entrance, it just always tickles my funny bone.
Cole then sends it to video of earlier in the evening on Sunday Night Heat, where Shawn Michaels and Vince McMahon are in the ring, when Austin would make his way out, with the Heartbreak Kid keeping Stone Cold from attacking, because it would cause Austin to be fired.
Yeah. You can't touch me.
Even as Mr. McMahon is trying to provoke the situation by spitting on Austin.
He really just wants to fire this guy.
But that takes us to our second match. Al Snow with Head versus Bob Holly for the vacant WWF Hardcore Championship. And Cole tells us that Road Dogg got injured on the Raw the previous night. He was actually suspended for drug use.
I was curious if he was actually injured or partying too hard.
Probably partying too hard would be the answer.
I imagine it wasn't only marijuana.
Probably not. So he had to vacate.
It wasn't steroids. No. If you've ever seen Road Dogg.
So Road Dogg had to vacate the title while we get video of our competitors brawling with each other on that Raw. Actually, I looked back after the fact, found out that so Snow and James were supposed to fight on the Raw for the belt. And when James didn't come out and had to vacate the title.
When the dog pissed hot.
Al Snow decided to challenge himself for the Hardcore Championship and started basically beating himself up.
Nice.
And Bob Holly, who's his fellow Job Squad member, comes out to stop him from doing so, and then they ended up brawling, which then turns into this match.
Which is funny and a thing that Al Snow would think up on the fly,
exactly.
And also gives the opportunity to his, I assume, friend, but at least team member, which is great because I remember really loving Bob Holly at this point, but this is kind of his first big shot since Sparky Plug era, right?
I mean, I guess Midnight Express stuff that was kind of on the mid-card-ish.
Yeah, and this is not the mid-card, but this is a belt, and people love Al Snow, so it's really the first real chance for him to shine. Also, the company is killing it, which not necessarily was doing to the same degree as when he had those previous gimmicks.
So we go back to live, and the two start up right where they left off the previous evening, with Bob being thrown out of the ring, followed by Snow smashing him with a chair over the head. They head out into the crowd to continue brawling as Holly jabs a chair into the gut of Al, slamming him on the concrete, using a fire extinguisher and breaking a bottle across Snow's forehead.
Damn.
Al fights back using the extinguisher as well, before they make their way backstage, where they run each other into walls, trash cans, doors, and payphones. Holly smashes some floor tiles and beer coolers onto Snow as they make their way outside the arena, using brooms and food pans on each other, leading to Al making a cover for a 2 count. Bob gets thrown into a semi-truck trailer a pair of times, but recovers to toss Snow into a fire lane street sign and use it over the back multiple times. That gets a near fall.
These guys are full of energy.
And they brawl their way all the way to the bank of the Mississippi.
Yep. Did they cross the highway? Probably not.
No, literally the pyramid literally sits
right on the wall.
Right on the river.
Yeah, I always have a very strong memory of this match just because it's so bizarre. Like the camera is following them and it has like a big light attached to it, and it looks like the Blair Witch or whatever.
Yeah. And they're throwing each other into chain link fences. Al chokes Holly with barbed wire, only for Bob to escape to whack Snow with a stop sign that just so happens to be laid out in the field. Al finds a piece of wood to hit Holly with, dumps him into a wheelbarrow momentarily, but Bob retaliates with a brick. We're just finding all kinds of plunder in this place.
I mean, it's the kind of things you'd find around a river.
If Matt Foley's around, there's a van probably too.
I got excited for a second. I was like, he's gonna dump him in the river from the thing, but I was like, no, I remember how this match ends. But like the wheelbarrow into the water would have been a great finish as well. Just dump his ass out.
We get more brawling when Holly is thrown into the water, only to backdrop Snow as he charges in and slam his head into a tire that was literally sitting in the river.
Yeah. And it gets him in the water, but I meant like float away.
Yeah. Al makes his way back up the bank when he finds a roll of chain link fence, and Bob whacks him with a tree limb from behind for a 2 count. Holly then unrolls the chain link, which allows Snow to recover with kidney shots, but another stick to the back of Al puts Bob in control. And Snow's knocked down onto the chain link, with Holly wrapping him up for the pin and the win. And new
David's hell joke I love. Roll her up in the carpet. Talking about having a pet parrot. It's a joke about Tylenol. It's one of his longer bits. Skanks for the Memories. Great comedy album.
Post-match, Bob races back into the building. Like, they take off running him and the referee.
I mean, they're taking a big shot here. They just gave Bob Holly a belt that is very tied to the era and the fan base that's tuning in every week, and he's got to celebrate in the ring. He needs a moment. He deserves a moment.
We then go to footage from earlier in the evening with the Ministry of Darkness. Surrounded by fire and darkness, Undertaker is speaking to everyone, including the Brood, who I guess have now joined the Ministry.
Yeah.
Since the last time we saw them.
A bit of a cult pep talk, if you will.
And Taker tells them that the massacre they witnessed tonight is nothing like the massacre they will see from now on, claiming that Mideon will take the soul of the Bossman, that the power from beyond has spoken to him. Their fate and purpose in life begins tonight.
I mean, yeah, good for them. Good for Mideon. Singles match.
That's right.
On a pay-per-view. I'm sure you thanked Mr. Taker profusely for helping out his boy.
That takes us right into our third match. Big Bossman versus Mideon. And the story behind this match was that the dead man had started making claims of wanting to take over the WWF. So McMahon sent his enforcer to stop Undertaker's minion in their tracks. And our two competitors lock up to start, with Bossman grabbing the advantage with right hands and chokes, when a reverse whip allows Mideon to nail a corner clothesline and strikes.
We missed a huge thing here.
Oh, what did we miss?
It's not important. But Mideon walks out holding what I thought was just like a jar of piss. And then they like zoom in on it and he like puts it on the announce table's desk. And it's just like some yellow liquid with like an eyeball in it. But it's just like he walks out with this like mason jar. And it just looks like is walking out holding like...
Third eye.
Yeah, I get it. Because that's the shirt and everything. But it just looks like a jar of piss. Which is funny.
I totally forgot about this, but it is funny because he then asked Lawler to keep an eye on it.
Yeah. Silly stuff.
A low blow puts Big Boss Man back in control, tossing his opponent to the floor and following out with a chair shot, only for Mideon to duck, causing Boss Man to hit the ring post.
Posted.
And the former hog farmer slams the arm of Big Boss Man into the steel steps before rolling in. But Boss Man is up first to drop Mideon throat first across the ropes.
Crowd's not too pleased with this one as they chant boring. But hey, guys.
I mean, it's also two heels fighting each other.
And who gives a shit about Mideon?
His mom?
I sure hope so.
Yeah.
I'm sure he's a nice boy.
And Big Boss Man works the back with chin locks and jumping on his opponent's back. When another reversed whip leads to another corner clothesline from Mideon, followed by biting and chokes. Boss Man fights back with strikes and chokes of his own. A corner splash, running straddle, baseball slide throat thrust, and a full Nelson that Mideon counters into a belly-to-belly suplex for a 2 count. We get ground and pound on the Big Boss Man until a throat thrust and headbutts allows him to set up for a pile driver, which Mideon reverses into a back body drop. Once back to his feet, the two men both go for clotheslines, putting them down on the mat to trade strikes, with the former hog farmer delivering a back elbow. Mideon then goes for a whip, but Big Boss Man reverses, only for his opponent to duck a clothesline and bounce off the ropes right into a Boss Man slam for the pin and the win. Post-match, the Ministry runs out and surrounds the ring when the lights go out and the bell dongs. Undertaker and Paul Bearer make their way out as Big Boss Man is beat down. When the lights return to see Viscera hit multiple splashes to the corporation's head enforcer, followed by dragging him away backstage. Will this be our next cult member? Tune in tomorrow to find out. We all know who Mideon was is an ex-hog farmer, but this new look really does him no favors. He looks terrible. Like, the sleeveless shirt, he's like paler than ever, and like is just wearing like a baggy shirt, the long hair, the eye makeup. It's like him and Road Dogg get pants from the same place. Yeah, he looks way more. They like, the hog farmer gimmick was goofy, and they did it a long time, but he looked imposing and large in overalls. And here he just kind of looks like a guy who plays Doom all day and doesn't leave his gateway computer. It's a rough look. Sometimes you need a new coat of paint. We then get an ad for WrestleMania with highlights of competitors. I was surprised they didn't even put the number on the ad. Yeah, that's weird. It's important. It just felt weird. Like, it was just a very generic commercial. WrestleMania. Yeah, it was very quick and didn't really sell any angles, but I guess we'll be getting to that later in the show. It's like, you need the number. You got to put all your VHS in order. Yeah. We then go to Kevin Kelly, who's joined by D'Lo Brown, Mark Henry, and Ivory. Ebony and Ivory. And we haven't seen Ivory since AWA Super Clash 3. Oh, wow. Episode 23. I
don't remember her being on that show, but I'm sure we spoke about it.
Her name was Nina at the time, and she was in the Lingerie Battle Royal.
Wow. That was super. I don't remember there being a lingerie super battle. I remember us watching early super clashes.
Remember it was like the Iranian girl like cutting the promo with the C4 or whatever, saying she was gonna.
Yeah, I vaguely remember that.
Yeah,
I do vaguely remember that.
That was for that match.
And she was just one of the other girls.
Yep.
Was that the same show that had the Guerrero tag match?
No, it was the Von Erich versus Lawler match.
All right.
Was the main event.
We didn't watch a whole lot of AWA?
It's the only AWA
Oh,
show
we didn't watch any of the other super clashes?
Nope.
All right.
It was the only one I was on pay-per-view.
All right. It's track this mostly through pay-per-views. You could criticize us. We maybe should have spent more time on AWA, but hey guys, there's books out there. You all have YouTube.
There's 70,000 other wrestling podcasts that...
I wonder if there's an AWA one.
There might be.
Maybe I got a new thing to add to the queue. Probably not.
But Kevin then sends it to footage from Sunday Night Heat, where Ivory and Debra had gotten into it, before asking if their newest member is the antidote and answer to their tag team equation. And Brown says that they found something to counteract the champ's secret weapon, followed by telling Debra if she sticks her nose in the match in any way, Ivory will rip every stitch of clothes off your 2-cent sleazy ass.
Them's fighting words.
And everyone in the crowd went, please get involved. Please get involved.
Yeah. Chiseled.
Yes.
But not in the same way that Chyna is.
But that takes us to our fourth match. D'Lo Brown and Sexual Chocolate, Mark Henry, with Ivory, versus Double J, Jeff Jarrett, and Owen Hart, with Debra, for the WWF Tag Team Championships. And Henry takes the mic to say, and I thought he was going to recite a poem, but...
Me too.
Luckily it wasn't.
Thank goodness.
On this fine Valentine's Day, I'd like to make the envy of all the women in the WWF by presenting this to my baby Ivory. And he gives her some chocolates and flowers, some roses even.
He's a sweet boy. That's where I got the name from.
But as the match gets going, Mark and Owen start us off with Sexual Chocolate using his power advantage to hammer away, bringing Brown in for a back elbow, and he goes for a back body drop, only for Hart to float over and nail a running bulldog. Double J comes in to keep up the attack with a drop kick, but a reversed whip leads to D'Lo delivering a power slam for a 2 count, as Owen breaks it up.
We got 3 great workers in this match. And Mark Henry. But we like Mark Henry. He at least has a personality now.
And Brown slams Hart down, calling in Henry for a double clothesline to the champs, as Debra climbs to the apron to flirt and slow the momentum. Jarrett sends D'Lo to the ropes, where Owen attempts to kick from the apron, only for Brown to avoid and shove Hart to the floor, only to turn into a single arm bar takedown from Double J. The champs then team up for a double clothesline and forcing D'Lo to experience the splits, followed by Owen hitting a corner clothesline and a spine buster, with Jarrett then leaping off the ropes with a fist drop. Turnbuckle smashes, raking Brown's eyes across the ropes, when Double J goes for a running straddle, but D'Lo avoids, only to walk right into a clothesline from Hart on the apron.
What a teammate.
Owen then tags in for a headbutt and goes for a suplex, but Brown reverses it into one of his own, only for Hart to retaliate with an enziguri for a near fall. And the champs team up again for a double back elbow that gets a 2 count, followed by Jarrett applying a chin lock to wear his opponent down, until D'Lo escapes with root elbows, but a spinning heel kick from Owen puts the champs back in control, where they deliver chokes, low blows, and strikes, when Brown is sent to the ropes, only to bounce off with a crossbody for a near fall. And Owen goes to mounted punches until D'Lo counters into a sky high, allowing him to make the crawl for the hot tag. Sexual Chocolate cleans house with right hands, whips both champs into a corner, but they avoid the splash, only for Brown to be back up to deliver spinning heel kicks to both men.
What a teammate.
D'Lo catches Jarrett going for a dropkick with another sky high that gets a near fall, before slamming Hart down and climbing to the top. But Debra gets on the apron to distract Brown.
I mean, can you blame him? Buddy, his brother Mark Henry has a girlfriend. What about D'Lo?
That's right. I mean, he was hanging out with PMS just like a few weeks ago.
Yeah.
But they're mad at him, so he's not getting anything.
It's time to move on.
And this brings Ivory in to pull her down and argue, with D'Lo getting in the middle of them. While inside the ring, Henry picks up Double J for a gorilla press slam. But Owen runs in with the guitar to whack Sexual Chocolate across the leg,
His knee.
leading to Jarrett locking on the figure four for the submission and the win. Post-match, after checking on Henry, Ivory goes after Debra again, ripping her clothes off until Double J can pull Debra away.
Yeah, they cover her with the
two belts.
The two belts, yeah. So you didn't get to see much, but, got the crowd riled up. I really liked this and thought that it looked like a tag match. The kind of tag matches that I love and appreciate, and more rare as we move through American wrestling. Felt like a good old Southern tag team match with three capable men, which is all you really need. And one that at least knows his cues. Yeah. And it helps that he's gigantic.
We go to the back where Kevin Kelly is with Mankind, and they take a look at a clip from Sunday Night Heat where The Rock attacked Foley, injuring his knee. And Mankind says it won't stop him from competing.
What could?
In fact, he's about to go into a state of mental preparation, which will make him a very ugly person. Back to our announcers, where Michael Cole tells everyone to send in their cable bill to receive a superstar photo magnet before sending us to a video recap of our next feud.
Yep. That's a ploy to send out mailers.
Yep.
But hey, that magnet's pretty neat.
And that recap shows us Val Venis made a film with Ken Shamrock's sister,
Ryan,
which upset the Intercontinental Champion. So he beat down Val on several occasions.
Val, can't you just have some tact? Can't you just date the sister? It might be he might be upset, but that's because you've been such a scummy hornball before. But if you just treated the women correctly and didn't make sex tapes with them and
then show them to the entire world,
yeah, then maybe Ken Shamrock wouldn't lose his mind, because we can't be too upset with him, even if she loves him. I'm Team Shamrock here, is all I'm saying.
So we go to our fifth match. Val Venis with Ryan Shamrock versus Ken Shamrock for the WWF Intercontinental Championship with special guest referee Bad Ass Billy Gunn.
Two questions before we get started. Ryan Shamrock is Ken Shamrock's girlfriend at the time? Is that correct?
Sister in kayfabe.
Yeah.
Girlfriend in real life.
Yeah, that's what I meant. It's not his sister girlfriend, because that's gross.
Yeah.
And then, why is Billy Gunn the special guest referee? Because his partner is out from Hot Piss? But his partner already has a singles title.
Well, Gunn had been feuding with Shamrock, but also the way they got him as the special guest referee is he had volunteered to officiate, as the other officials were too scared to do so. Basically, because Ken had been
and we've all seen Ken Shamrock when he puts on his angry face, and it's pretty terrifying. He might not be tall, but it doesn't mean he can't beat your ass.
Yeah. And Gunn comes out and he takes the mic and he does the whole DX spiel, which
everybody goes nuts for it.
But I was like, you should probably leave this to Road Dogg, bro, and just say if you're not down for it.
Yeah,
because that's all you really got.
But nobody cares, because they just hear the DX song and go bananas.
Yeah. Venis then takes the mic once he arrives. Hello, ladies. So it's Valentine's Day. Let me make one thing very clear right here, right now. Ladies, the big Valboski has a heart on for you.
I mean, that might be some of his best work. A heart on. Some of the early ones were pretty good, and then he lost the plot. This one's simple, it's to the point, It's the right kind of stupid.
Yep. And Ken rushes the ring, but Venis is ready for him, leading to several clotheslines, turnbuckle smashes, and chops that get a 2 count. But Shamrock fights back with a roundhouse kick, stomps, hard whips, and a clothesline, before more kicks, knees to the gut, and forearms to the throat on the apron.
And just to give you an example of what was going on out here in 1998, everybody's chanting Shamrock sucks. Yeah, these guys wouldn't defend their sister's honor. This whole crowd wouldn't defend their sister's honor. I mean, obviously, it's just a bunch of horny young men that want to see as much of Ken's real life girlfriend's flesh as they can.
The funny part about this is this is like Rick Rude in the Mirrorverse.
Yeah,
because that's what Val Venis
Val Venis is Rick Rude. Yeah,
is Rick Rude, but he's the face instead of the heel for making fun of Jake the Snake's wife.
Exactly. Yeah, this is very it's okay. This is very just shows the difference between the 80s and early 90s to the Limp Bizkit era we're working our way into, where America might have been the most fun that it ever was, but it was also kind of the most demented and gross as far as entertainment went.
And Badass comes out to get them back in the ring, with Ken staring down the ref momentarily, only to continue the punishment back inside with more stomps, body slams, and knees to the throat. And Shamrock goes for a suplex, but Val reverses it into one of his own, followed by an atomic drop, choking on the ropes and multiple elbows for a near fall. Knee lifts, double underhook suplex, and a backbreaker keep up the attack, before tossing Ken to the floor to ram his back into the ring post.
Posted.
Several times.
Posted. He did it 3 times.
Back inside, Venis goes to a camel clutch to work the back, followed by a double underhook pin attempt for a 2 count, as Gunn didn't realize that's what he was doing. He does it, and then Badass kind of goes, "Oh, that's a pin." And Val continues with a chin lock and yelling at Badass to ask him, with him responding with, "Ask him what?"
Yeah, I got a kick out of that.
We get more knee lifts and stomps from Venis, dropping Shamrock throat first across the top rope, when he telegraphs his move, allowing Ken to DDT his opponent down, only for Gunn to purposefully not count the 3, which leads to Shamrock yelling, "What the fuck?"
I know.
And argue with the ref.
The Val does the 1, 2, and then stops an inch above pulls it out, staring at Ken in the eyes.
Val takes advantage of the distraction by locking on a sleeper, but Ken escapes with a back suplex, but charges into a back elbow, only to then catch Venis with a power slam for another slow count. And the 2 trade strikes when a Val forearm sends Shamrock bouncing off the ropes into a Northern Light suplex for the pin. And no, Badass continues with the slow counts. So he's not just doing it for one of them. He's doing it for both of them.
He's just being a shit star?
I mean, he wants the belt himself.
Yeah, but he can't win it here.
That's true.
Who does he want to fight more?
I guess we don't know. Eye rake, knee lifts, side Russian leg sweep, and taunting over Ken before he heads up top. Ken meets Venis there to press slam his opponent down to the mat, followed by a spinning heel kick and a hurricanrana. Shamrock continues with a belly-to-belly suplex and grabs the ankle. Yeah. But Val makes it to the ropes with the help of Ryan.
He just doesn't know what's good for him.
And Ken begins to give chase to his sister, wondering what she's doing, when we can hear him tell her to slap him. So she does. And Gunn comes out to protect Ryan and get Shamrock back in the ring, only for the champ to shove the ref. So Badass nails a big right hand, tossing Ken back in, where Venis cradles him up for a fast count for the pin and the win.
The fastest of fast counts.
And new.
Forgot this one was for a belt, because the Intercontinental belt's I love Ken Shamrock, but it just doesn't feel like there's an Intercontinental champion at the moment. And now he was on Val Venis, so we'll see where it ends up going in the future.
Post-match, Gunn immediately leaves down the entranceway, only for Shamrock to run after him for them to brawl momentarily as Val celebrates in the ring. But Ken finally leaves, but Badass then runs back to the ring to beat down Venis until leaving himself.
Well, I think he realized, I've seen wrestling before. If Ken attacks me and I just walk to the back, they're going to make me fight Ken next. If I run back to the ring and the last thing that happens is I beat up Val Venis, maybe I'll get a chance at the belt. And I also get to do the thing that everybody wants me to do, which is suck it.
Exactly. We then go to a video package about Socko.
Who is this Sock?
Where the narrator says he's the most recognized form of foot apparel in sports entertainment today.
What about the boot?
Loved by friends, feared by enemies. When mankind reaches into his tights and begins to blow, you know it's not just a sock. It's an adventure. It's Mr. Socko! And now you too can be a part of the rave and rage of Mr. Socko with your very own Mr. Socko t-shirt. Order now.
I have a couple issues with this. Begins to blow. I don't like that. And then the other issue is we all love Mr. Socko. I loved this stupid shit as a kid. Mr. Socko, Mankind's my favorite. He didn't even need Mr. Socko for me to enjoy him. I was already a fan, and that just added the right amount of comedy for 5th grade me. But this is the most awful, ugly t-shirt I've ever seen in my life. It is such a horrific wrestling t-shirt.
Well, like, this ad started, and I thought it was, like, literally going to be, like, a legitimate, like...
Sock.
Mr. Socko promo package type thing, like talking about the damage that Mr. Socko does, and then all of a sudden I realized that it's a commercial, and I went, oh, because like it was a really good like package to start with.
They can edit their asses off. The other issue is I thought that there was going to be just like buy your own Mr. Socko.
I mean, that's what it probably should have been because it's a t-shirt.
Shirt's awful, but everybody can also just make their own Mr. Socko.
That's true.
You just get a white sock and a Sharpie.
But hey, if you can get people to order a Mr. Socko,
if there was any time for him to do it, now's the time.
Cole then sends it to a video recap about DX's recent woes.
Whoa.
Showing Hunter talking about if DX should split, with Chyna saying, if anyone is going to initiate a split, it will be me. And like this is from months ago.
Yeah, I was kind of caught off.
Probably like 6 months ago or so. It was like on an episode of Raw, and they pulled this up. 6 months later to the Raw from a couple weeks ago, Triple H is forced to say, I quit, to save Chyna from a chokeslam. Only for her to low blow Hunter and join the corporation.
Dirty girl.
And in the weeks that followed, Chyna, Kane, Triple H, and X-Pac would all have several confrontations, as we see those highlights.
You think that there was trouble in paradise between Joni and Hunter, and they're like, all right, if we show this package, then she can just turn and she'll join the corporation.
I'm gonna say no. I think it was just a way to help get her into more storylines.
Yeah.
Because I do know what happens in the next couple of months. So
all right, there's an arc here, but like they're kind of shoehorning the split.
Yeah. So we go to our 6th match: DX of Triple H and X-Pac versus Kane and Chyna. And Hunter asks the crowd if they're ready. So for the thousands in attendance and the millions watching around the world, and Chyna, you jacked up bitch.
Suck it. That was a nice little thing. It's like, oh, he just cut it off and like right into the hard cam. Called her a big jacked up bitch. It's like, hey man, she was your big jacked up bitch.
Shane McMahon also comes out to join the commentary booth, while Triple H attacks the Big Red Machine from behind, only to be taken down by a clothesline, strikes, and a big boot. Hunter avoids an elbow drop and tags in the Kid, who delivers several kicks, but Kane just throws X-Pac into a corner to hammer away. And Chyna wants in, so the Big Red Machine tags out, leading to her hitting several strikes, only for the Kid to sidestep an attack and throw her into the turnbuckle, followed by going for a Bronco Buster. But Chyna rolls out in time.
I mean, it's got to be tough. She's been standing at one point very silently and stoically watching these guys wrestle, and now they've been a full-on team that's selling T-shirts, and she's out there watching all the matches. She knows the moves. She knows when to get out of the way of the Bronco Buster.
She returns to the ring, but Kane tags himself in, which kind of upsets Chyna. But X-Pac doesn't wait for them to figure it out, attacking the Big Red Machine with strikes until Kane chokelifts his opponent. And Triple H jumps in to save his partner, teaming up to regain control before flying off the top with a clothesline. But the Big Red Machine reverses a whip to send Hunter to the ropes, where Chyna gets a shot in from the apron, which pisses Triple H off, grabbing her, only for Kane to attack from behind. And Big Red Machine, with a body slam and a flying clothesline, brings Chyna in for a clothesline and goes for a vertical suplex. But Hunter reverses, only for Chyna to wiggle free to hit a forearm and a body slam. But she misses an elbow drop, allowing the Kid to return to work the arm of Chyna. But she escapes by raking X-Pac's eyes and tagging out. And Kane misses a corner splash, with the Kid firing up, joined by Triple H for a double vertical suplex, only for the Big Red Machine to sit right up, as Chyna has climbed to the top rope. So Hunter rocket launches her right into her partner, where Kane catches Chyna, sets her down with her rolling out to the floor. And DX continues with a double DDT and a double clothesline that knocks Kane out of the ring.
Takes two.
Only for him to pull the Kid out as well, brawling around ringside, until X-Pac avoids a clothesline, causing the Big Red Machine to hit the ring post.
Posted. I guess he kind of did it himself.
And the Kid has heard enough of Shane's cheering from the announce table and goes to take him out, before returning to the ring to stomp away on Kane. But X-Pac gets caught going for a spinning heel kick and slammed down. And the Big Red Machine hits turnbuckle smashes, Chyna with strikes and a running power slam for a 2 count, followed by Kane returning to continue the punishment of the Kid with more turnbuckle smashes, hard whips, and clotheslines. And Chyna tags in to crotch the Kid on the ropes and locks on a sleeper. But X-Pac fires up to escape with a back suplex and makes the crawl for the hot tag. Triple H keeps going after Chyna when Kane attempts to interfere, only to be back body dropped out to the floor, with the Kid flying through the ropes with a dropkick, only for the Big Red Machine to sidestep and run X-Pac into the barrier. And Chyna fights back, but a high knee from Hunter puts her down, only for Kane to low bridge the ropes as Triple H goes to run them, causing him to crash out to the floor as well. And the Big Red Machine and Hunter brawl down the aisleway, while the Kid has made his way back into the ring to deliver a Bronco Buster to Chyna, when Shane runs in to clothesline X-Pac from behind. And McMahon takes off running to the back, with the Kid in hot pursuit, while Triple H runs Kane into the steel steps. And Hunter climbs back into the ring to nail a face buster to Chyna, sets up for the pedigree, when the Big Red Machine returns to choke slam Triple H, rolling Chyna's lifeless body on top for the pin and the win.
Yeah. Shane helping get it done. So we got another new feud, potentially. It was nice and funny to see X-Pac and Kane work together, because you could see that they had good chemistry early on, as we'll see more of it in the future. But yeah, it just reminded me of how good 1-2-3 Kid and like Razor Ramon was, and how fun that was. It's like a big guy and a little fast guy, but like the big guy is like very in control and like aware of his body, even if he's not the most agile. It's a nice David and Goliath, but you don't see it a whole bunch in wrestling, at least not done. There's something weird where you can see it. It happens a lot, but maybe X-Pac's just one of the best to do it, as far as big man, little man goes.
Our announcers discuss our next match. showing a couple of ambulances on standby, before sending it to a video recap of the feud between Rock and Mankind, including the double cross and crowning of Rocky at Survivor Series, Foley's win being nullified at Rock Bottom, putting butts in seats on Raw, and numerous chair shots at the Royal Rumble, followed by the empty arena at Halftime Heat. We also see footage from earlier in the evening where Mankind was injured by The Rock.
I know, he taking out the knee. The Rock's just such a chicken shit. You're a foot taller than the guy and in better shape.
So that takes us to our 7th match. The Rock versus Mankind for the WWF Championship in a last man standing match.
I feel like it's been a while since we've seen one of these in the WWF, if ever.
This is actually our first last man standing match we've had on this show.
Ever?
And
but
Cage
Texas Death Match? I guess that's not the same thing.
Same
Similar.
Thing. And Cage Match tells me this is only the 4th one that they had recorded in history.
And this is the first one for the WWF, potentially?
Yes.
Okay.
Like all the other ones were in like minor...
Or NWA stuff.
Not even NWA.
Oh, wow.
It was like a Florida, a Memphis, those places, basically.
Like NWA, what are they called? Territories, probably? Yeah.
Yeah, it was all back in territory days when these happened. Which is kind of funny because, like, originally when I went to look, because I was like, is this our first last man standing match? Because I was just like, I don't remember, so I was like...
Yeah, I couldn't think
let me go look. And it's funny because this is the 4th one that Cage Match ever had listed. But there's literally been 100 of them just in 2025 on Cage Match.
Jesus. I didn't know there was that much wrestling going on.
Oh, there's tons of wrestling going on.
I know there's a lot, but I didn't know there was that much.
So it's just like, it was just kind of like this funny, like...
Yeah, it's like, there's 4, and then like, in just this year, it's like, I guess, you really watered down the last man standing match in the great year of 2025.
So the rules of this match are that the competitors have to reach their feet before the referee reaches the count of 10. So Foley starts the match off by turning his back to his opponent, allowing Rocky to attack, and continuously doing so whenever Rock backs up, only for Mankind to finally fight back with a shot from the belt, knocking down his opponent for a count of 8. And they brawl to the outside and down the aisleway, where Foley tosses his opponent into the entrance set multiple times, before Rocky reverses a whip to do the same. And they fight over to the tech area, where Mankind DDTs the Rock through a table for a count of 9, followed by a shot from a metal briefcase. But Rocky changes the momentum with a back suplex onto the concrete. And they brawl back to ringside, where the Rock is thrown into the ring steps, only to make it back to his feet at the count of 3, rolling into the ring, where Foley keeps up the attack with a body slam and a people's elbow. But Rocky moves in time to take control with strikes. Now out on the floor, the Rock suplexes Mankind 3 times, forcing the ref to make a count as he goes to deliver commentary in place of Michael Cole. But Foley recovers and dives over the table onto his opponent, beating Rocky down and placing him on the announce table before flying off the apron with a cactus elbow.
We love to see it.
And Rock's head slammed into the steel steps, followed by being rolled inside, while Foley tosses those steps into the ring as well. And Mankind charges in with the weapon, only for Rocky to get a boot up to knock Foley down, before grabbing a chair from the outside to whack the knee of Mankind several times. And the Rock goes for a headshot, but Foley avoids and the chair bounces off the ropes back into Rocky's face, making him loopy and allowing Mankind to nail a cactus clothesline that takes them both outside. And Foley goes for a pile driver, only for Rock to block, so he hits a swinging neck breaker instead, followed by heading to the announce booth to attempt the pile driver again, but Rocky counters with a back body drop that sends him through some chairs. And Rock continues by grabbing the ring steps and dumping them out onto his opponent.
Pretty nasty little spot.
Before they make their way back inside, where a body slam and corporate elbow are delivered. And Rocky grabs a mic to tell Earl Hebner to count quicker, or he will put a foot in his ass. As Mankind makes it back to his feet to lock on a mandible claw, causing Rock to stumble backwards, which knocks the ref out of the ring.
Ref bump.
And Foley takes his opponent down to the mat, where he's unconscious, but there's no one to count. So Mankind goes to wake Hebner up,
Get up, Heb.
rolling him into the ring and helping the ref make the count. Like, he literally grabs his hand, gets to about 5 or so.
Yeah.
Earl finally wakes up but Rocky gets up at the count of 8. Rock then nails a low blow and a DDT to slow the momentum. When they both make it to their feet, but Rocky has a chair to swing away, only for Foley to duck and DDT his opponent onto the steel.
Yes.
Getting a count of 9. Damn. Mr. Socko's retrieved and locked on, but The Rock counters it into a rock bottom, leaving both down for a count of 8, with them grabbing chairs as they make it to their feet. And they both hit chair shots to the other, knocking each other out, so no one answers the 10 count for the draw.
It feels bad, but nobody's going to lose any fans over it.
Post-match, the crowd's chanting
bullshit
as officials and paramedics come down to check on them, putting braces on their necks, placing them on stretchers, and taking them to the ambulances in the back.
It's good, but it's not as brutal as that one match that was too brutal. So, or like, this is more brutal than Halftime Heat, but this both double stretcher job doesn't feel as earned as the I Quit match.
No.
You know what I mean? But are they they're each other's best opponents?
Probably.
But I guess Mick Foley is most people's best opponent.
Yeah.
Because he'll do it.
He'll do it. Exactly.
And also, you don't have to be a technical wrestler for Mick Foley. Like, as long as you have good instincts, Mick Foley will drag you to a good match as long as you're paying attention.
Yep. We then go to a video recap on the McMahon-Austin feud, where we get highlights including Vince winning the Royal Rumble, giving up his spot only for the Heartbreak Kid to know the rule book, placing Stone Cold in the Mania main event. But Austin puts his spot up to gain a match with McMahon in a steel cage, with a guarantee that a corporation member would not interfere. Stone Cold even went through a corporate gauntlet on this last Saturday night's Raw, making it through everyone except for Vince himself, who makes the pin. And we come back live to the cage being set up, and instead of the classic blue cage, it's the same setup, but it's black.
As it should be, it's the Attitude Era. It's black and red.
So our announcers discuss the match to waste time as Lawler's voice continues to
go out.
But that takes us right to our 8th match. Stone Cold Steve Austin versus Vincent McMahon in a steel cage match.
I mean, normally I'm like, the title's got to be at the top, but this is to get to Mania. We know who has the title. Assume, since they draw, we still don't know who Austin's going to, or Austin or McMahon will fight at Mania, but at least after this, we'll know. Figure out the other stuff later.
I mean, unless this ends up being a draw, too.
They're not that stupid. They're firing on all cylinders.
So Vince comes out and climbs up the cage as Austin waits on him inside. But he doesn't enter, climbing back down and going to the door. But he still doesn't enter, walking around ringside.
Burning up the time.
And Stone Cold decides to give chase around the ring.
Which is probably what he wanted.
With McMahon escaping inside, kicking at Austin to prevent him from entering. So Stone Cold now climbs up, with Vince meeting him at the top to prevent Austin from entering.
All seems to make sense. McMahon's not a bona fide ass kicker.
And Stone Cold drops down to the floor and seems to have hurt himself as the ref is checking on him. So McMahon comes out, only for it to all be a ruse, as Austin clotheslines the boss down, throwing him into the announce table and cage and choking him with a TV cord.
Don't play cat and mouse with a dog.
That was an old Hollywood Blondes trick right there.
Yeah, I love to see it.
And the fight heads out into the crowd with Stone Cold stomping away, but they return to ringside for Vince to be thrown into the ring steps. McMahon fires back by tossing Austin into the cage and running away through the crowd, only for Stone Cold to catch him and working over Vince amongst the fans.
Imagine how hyped you would have been in 1998 if you were in that crowd and Austin was just, pelting
Right
McMahon.
there.
Yeah. Losing your damn mind.
And he's dragged back to ringside, down the aisleway to use the guardrails. McMahon tries to climb the cage to escape the attack, but Austin continuously pulls him down to continue the punishment. And they fight on the outside of the ring as they both climb, with Stone Cold slamming Vince's head into the steel, which causes McMahon to fall off the top and crash through the Spanish announce table.
I mean, say what you will about Vince McMahon, but he really didn't have to do that. It's the biggest bump we've seen him take at this point, and it's one that plenty of guys wouldn't take.
I mean, him going out and going, I'll do whatever it takes.
Yeah.
Just basically shows everyone in the back that I should probably do the same.
Yeah. I do love that, because, he gets punched or, he gets hit off the cage and into the Spanish announce table, but if you made a gif of it, it's pretty incredible and hilarious. He legitimately just, launches himself. It's so hard and far back. It's, yeah.
But this actually broke his tailbone.
Oof, that sounds awful.
Because he landed right on the edge of the table.
Yeah.
So right with that bone that's right above your crack, hit it and it kind of shattered.
What he needed to do was be about at least one rung higher, because he really did push himself. He just needed a little more leverage.
Officials and paramedics come out to check on Vince, placing him on a stretcher as the Fink goes to announce Austin as the winner.
Fink.
When Stone Cold steals the mic away, calling it bullshit, that the match never started. The bell never rung, asking if McMahon is still breathing. And Austin climbs over the cage to catch up with the paramedics as they roll Vince away, yanking the officials away and rolling McMahon straight into the cage.
I mean, this is the reason and a prime example of why this is one of the greatest wrestling feuds of the cable era.
Followed by smashing the board across the back and gut. And Vince is dragged into the ring, with the ref ringing the bell and making the match official, as Stone Cold rips the neck brace off to nail multiple second rope elbow drops. And Austin asks for the door to be open, and he goes to leave. But McMahon comes to enough to flip off his opponent.
This man just full of fight.
And this causes Stone Cold to re-enter to stomp a mud hole, until Vince hits a low blow and tosses Austin into the steel.
He knew what he was doing. I take it all back.
McMahon climbs to the top of the cage, only for Stone Cold to catch him, dumping Vince back inside and throwing the boss face first into the steel, which busts McMahon open.
How satisfying is that? See McMahon just bleed from the top of the head.
And Austin tosses Vince into the cage some more, and he climbs to the top and over, when McMahon flips him off again. So Stone Cold climbs back up and back in as Vince attempts to escape up the apparatus, but the boss is dumped down to the mat. More strikes before a stunner leaves McMahon out on the mat, when all of a sudden Paul White emerges from under the ring, throwing Austin into the cage several times. And Vince is taunting Stone Cold, telling White to continue the attack, and he throws him so hard that the cage wall swings open.
Yeah, like a door, like a really big door hinge,
which allows Austin to just drop down to the floor to win the match.
I mean, kind of the coolest fuck you way to win. It's pretty, it seems anticlimactic, but there's just something that's the perfect amount of smart and funny. Because we're typically doing lowbrow, but I wouldn't consider this a lowbrow joke. It's just a good joke.
So last time we saw Paul White was at Starrcade 98.
As
episode 337. Yep. Post-match, McMahon can't believe his plan didn't work, while Stone Cold celebrates as Michael Cole says his goodbyes, and we fade to black. So I ask you, Michael, what are your overall thoughts of St. Valentine's Day Massacre in your house?
It's not boring. Not everything is like, there's no show that is just like top to bottom bangers, but everything has a purpose and nothing outstays its welcome. And the things that are longer are at least like actually good. Like the tag match is specifically the Owen, Hart, Jeff Jarrett, and D'Lo and Mark Henry is maybe a little longer, but it's because it's a good tag match that's put together like a classic Southern tag match. So it kept my interest and also you have the two ladies. Everything has enough of an angle going on that you're interested in the outcome to varying degrees. But none of them are just like, oh, I don't care about this at all. At least I didn't feel that way.
Yeah.
Which is pretty high praise considering there's so many pay-per-views today, tomorrow, yesterday that together forever, whatever, that's not the case. There's always a pay-per-view match you probably don't give a shit about. And sometimes on the other channel, it might be half the card. So I don't really have any complaints here because nothing seems slapped together. And if anything is slapped together, still has purpose or reasoning that's not completely far-fetched or stupid.
I'm like, did you read my notes? Because you even used my word.
Did I?
Purpose.
Oh, did I?
Because not all the matches are good. But they had a purpose and a storyline. So I give them a bit of a pass. Like, Goldust and Bluedust, it's not a good match. But it had a purpose. It's funny. And it had a storyline. And it's fine.
Yeah, well, it's it just for the mocking of Goldust.
Yeah.
And for how short it is, it's like, sure.
I mean, if they had not interacted at all on a Raw, and then all of a sudden they go out and have this match, then you kind of go, well, what was the point of this?
Yeah, it's like, oh, then it's just the joke.
Yeah.
Which would still be kind of
But
funny.
like I said, there's some kind of purpose to the match. I know you say there's only one main event, but I'm going to say two main events.
There was always only one main event, but if there's going to be a show where there's two main events, it's 1999, and those four people are The Rock, Mankind, Stone Cold Steve Austin, and Vince McMahon. Because even the Undertaker and Kane they're upper mid card at this point. Like they are downcycled at the moment, but they can always be heated back up. But they are not the draw that those four people are.
But I think both those last two matches are excellent.
Yeah.
I actually think that this is probably finish set aside. Yeah. I do think this is actually the best Rock Mankind match.
Yeah, that one is just so intense that it's hard. It's the easiest one. First one that pops in your head, but it doesn't make it better.
The Royal Rumble one is always the one that people think about, but it's that ending and the violence of it just keeps you from being able to say, like, I love this match. Like, it's hard to say.
It's more memorable than it is good.
This one, I think, takes what they were going for in that Royal Rumble match and doesn't overstep that line. And
I honestly like this finish more because at least it's honest. Yeah. Not that the other finish didn't make sense in storyline purposes, but this one it's like, oh, these two guys, they just took it out of each other completely. And we still don't know who the quote-unquote better man is.
The main event, though, I do think should be on the short list.
Vince McMahon had no right to be that
the moment that McMahon flips off Austin the first time, I just went, holy fuck! They figured it out, the entire formula for a match without actually having a match. I was just like,
Like it didn't feel like they weren't having a match, but if you like go rewind a couple minutes and listen to Matt go through it, it's like a lot happens, but not a lot of...
It's 12 minutes before the bell rings.
Yeah. Not a lot of stuff. Like everything happens and nothing happens, and that's the magic of it all. And though I forgot, this is where how Paul White emerges, and it would be silly if it ended any other way than it shows the strength of Paul White and the intelligence and nonchalance of like Stone Cold Steve Austin. Like, fuck it. Hoisted by your own petard, I'm just going to drop to the floor. That's what you get for cheating, you stupid son of a bitch.
Yep.
And also, the corporation kind of needs somebody that hasn't been made a fool. Because, like, everybody, like, their biggest guy is the big boss man, and, like, he hasn't been, none of them have been effective enough.
I mean, honestly, I think, spoiler for next week's show, because we'll find out about Bossman. I kind of wonder if Bossman was supposed to become part of the Ministry of Darkness, and then they changed their mind, basically, because he did get dragged away after the Mideon match.
That is a good point. I did forget about that a little bit because it was the Mideon match. But even so, like, the corporation has, like, they still feel kind of like Keystone Cops, where they can't quite ever finish the thing. And then Paul White comes out here. He doesn't quite finish the thing, but he still does something impressive. He's also bigger than everybody.
Yeah. And
he's a squandered star from the other channel.
I mean, it was kind of the first, like, major blow of WWF going after WCW.
Yeah. It's like they got X-Pac back, but that's not the same thing.
But X-Pac got fired, so...
Oh, did he? Yeah, I forgot all that. Yeah.
This is the first time that they kind of stole a guy.
Oh, okay. Well, I'm interested.
I mean, obviously the contract ran out, but they just... It's just a reverse outsiders type thing.
Yeah, yeah.
Good. Where's the smart marks at? There. All right, fuck you.
I think it's time we smark it up. So what are some of the best moments of this show?
Well, we just talked about a lot of them. Honestly, just the way that Vince McMahon can pull a face where it's always so cartoony, but it's never... He never somehow goes, like, 211. He just, like, hits 10 every time. Yeah. So it never gets to the point where you're, like, rolling your eyes. Also, he's been such a scumbag that if he looks like he's about to cry, you're cheering it on.
Absolutely. I'm going to go Bob Holly.
Go ahead. Yeah, Bob Holly, excellent intensity, and he knew that he needed to shine here, and he did.
Yep.
Even if he wasn't set to take the belt, he still had to shine because they would have no issue hot potatoing that right off of him because this is the hot potato belt.
Oh yeah, it's the lowest belt on the show, but
it gives everybody a chance.
I actually almost have more fun with that belt, especially over the next few months, than some of the other ones that we run across.
Yeah, I mean, this was, of course, the belt that I loved because it was Mick Foley. Sets it all up. Yeah. Everybody loves Mick Foley, and this is kind of the belt that gives everybody a chance to, like, show their gusto, put their balls on display.
Obviously, Ivory showing up, feel like that'll give an extra little bit of spice to that feud that's happening.
Also, it's like we got to bring in some more valets because. Sable doesn't love showing up, and the crowd loves the ladies.
The badass doing the ask him what?
Yeah, he was pretty funny there.
There was definitely some comedy moments in there in the middle of a match that, like, had a lot of intensity between Shamrock and Venis.
I mean, Venis is a better wrestler than I remember as a kid.
Yeah.
Just because I didn't know as much about wrestling or pay attention to it the same way that I do now. And, I mean, is there anybody more intense than Ken Shamrock? Brock Lesnar might be more scary, but he doesn't have crazy eyes the same way. He doesn't look like a demon when he gets mad.
I mean, I mentioned it earlier, but I loved the Mr. Socko package until I realized that it was an ad for a t-shirt.
And the t-shirt was the worst. Still, I'm saying, guys, worst t-shirt I think I've ever seen in wrestling.
Because I was just like, yes, like, this is a great promo. Oh, it's an ad.
Yeah, the shirt looks like it was designed on PowerPoint. It's like a very PowerPoint font.
Going back, you mentioned it a couple times, the tag match between for the tag belts. It was a perfect tag match. Like, everything that a tag match, we want a tag match to be.
I had all the right like interferences with the valets. That's probably got a lot to do with Jeff Jarrett knowing his Southern wrestling. But it was... I
mean, all those guys spent time in Memphis at some point.
Good point. But yeah, it's like everybody knows how exactly the beats that are supposed to be there, and then they just plugged Mark Henry in and knew how to use him, and he didn't make a fool of himself. And we like tag wrestling. We just don't see enough of it anymore. And the stuff I do see typically doesn't scratch that itch. So it was that one, I was like, all right, this will be whatever. And then I immediately was locked in.
How about most disappointing? I mean, Mideon and Bossman.
Yeah.
You have two heel faction big guys, so they're limited in what they can do to begin with.
And when the match is over, I understand the purpose, but you hinted at something which kind of nullifies that. So it feels like it's the most useless match on the show, or unnecessary by far. If you were going to skip a match on this show, that's the one you fast forward.
It's definitely that match. Yeah. Because it literally goes nowhere.
Yeah.
Like, even them, spoiler alert for next week. Like, literally they say a line that just, like, completely nullifies everything that they did in this match.
And it's also not that big of a spoiler because the next week's show is the next night, right?
Yeah.
So, changed their mind, or they just needed a thing to fill up 8 minutes of the show.
Oh, I meant to say this on Best Moments.
Okay.
Actually, Undertaker's promo, like when he's talking to everyone around the fire.
His cult pep talk.
Yeah. He actually mentions the higher power. It's just a very, like, one part of his entire thing.
Yeah.
And most people would probably... I mean, obviously, we know about the higher power storyline that as fans of wrestling from...
Yeah.
And we're 27 years later. But just seeing that, like, literally one of his first promos, they're already kind of trying to seed it in there.
Yeah, that's interesting. It's one of those things where it's like... Did they just say that and they're like, well, maybe we'll,
maybe we have something here, maybe we don't.
Yeah, exactly.
Like, there's really not a whole lot that I dislike about this show. Like,
it's an easy watch and it's Attitude Era as hell. This is the stuff that everybody remembers. This is the stuff that sold the T-shirts. This is the stuff that made this a publicly traded company. We're in the thick of it.
I can't think of anything else, so I think I'm just going to go on to Best Performer.
Sure.
What do you think? McMahon?
I mean, Mankind and The Rock put in the most work, but McMahon is the only guy that could have, for how important this was, he had the most margin for error.
I mean, he had the most pressure, because the only other match he's ever been in is a Royal Rumble. And now he has to go out there and...
truly perform.
Him and Austin have to perform a main event that is believable.
Without, like, clotheslines and Irish whips.
Yeah.
And it has to not be boring. And the crowd is bug nuts the whole time. And Austin can do that all day. He's tested. He can wrestle. But, yeah, McMahon is he's the thing that has to work here, and he nailed it.
Yeah.
0 complaints. He even bladed, and my God, did he blade. Because it is like directly in the middle of his forehead and deep. He did not even go with the hairline.
And how about most surprising?
I wasn't ready for the
Paul
big
White?
show. Mr. Paul White.
Yeah.
The former Giant. Yeah, I wasn't ready for him to show up. I did not remember how he showed up. I remember. Also, doesn't help that I didn't have any money, so I didn't get the pay-per-views, and my parents weren't particularly interested in paying for the pay-per-views, as they didn't have any interest in watching this, and $40 a month is a lot of money in '98. But I was like, oh, all right. I knew he was coming sooner or later.
I mean, I think it was the bigger surprise for me was just that I just went, wow, it really has been like a little while since we've seen him. Because I just kind of forgotten about him in WCW.
True.
Because he hadn't been part of any major storylines or anything, so it was just
and the storylines over there are not memorable. Yeah. So it's hard. We cannot be there for like a couple weeks, a month sometimes, and we go back and I'm like, what was going on? Wait, what was going on, or is this new?
Probably not.
Yeah, but also, what was the shirt he was wearing? It looked kind of like a NWO.
It wasn't an NWO shirt.
It wasn't an NWO shirt, obviously, but it looked like in the style. It said something, and I can't quite put my finger on it. I meant to rewind it or whatever. I didn't get there. It's probably not important.
Probably not.
But I was just curious if you know.
For the thousands in attendance and the millions watching around the world, ladies and gentlemen, let's get ready to rumble!
Turn the lights down, turn the projector on. We're ready to rumble. This week we're covering OK for Sound. It was released August 23rd, 1937 by Gaymont British.
That's a fake name.
Never heard of that distribution company.
Oh, I thought that was the director's name, sorry.
Directed by Marcel Varnell and written by Marriott Edgar and Val Guest. It starred the Crazy Gang, Fred Dupree's Graham Moffat, and Enid Stamp Taylor.
The Crazy Gang.
The plot of this film is Hyman Goldberger, the president of film studio Super Colossal Pictures, is in trouble. His major backer is threatening to stop financing his pictures. So he finds a group of 6 wealthy individuals who may want to become investors in the studio if his disgruntled backer pulls out. Unfortunately, his bumbling runner Albert picks that day to invite 6 of his street musician friends to be in the film that's currently shooting at the studio. And Hyman mistakes them for the potential investors. Complications ensue.
Sounds like this one was supposed to be a comedy. Now, how funny was it?
Some trivia. The Crazy Gang was a troupe of comedians composed of 3 different double acts. Flanagan and Allen, Naughton and Gold, and Nervo and Knox. And they would join together as they shared a similar style of comedy.
And what was that style? Was it very physical?
Some physical, mostly wordplay type things.
Yeah, I gotcha. Who's on first? I assume this is a British film.
It's not.
Okay. I was just guessing by the...
I guess technically it might be. It just...
Yeah.
Everyone in it's American.
Yeah. They weren't... they didn't have accents.
Some reviews and ratings of this movie. IMDb gave it a 6.0. Letterboxd is at a 3.0, so it's kind of down the middle. Couldn't find any critic reviews, so went to my IMDb user reviews and found John Howard Reed. Shout out to you.
Whole name.
From 2007, this review was. Captivating start and a wow of a finish. Mixed bag of reasonably amusing, rather middling and even tedious vaudeville turns. Flanagan and Allen take the lead in singing the delightful first number. And my thoughts on it was there is a plot to the movie, but it's just a way to set up the Crazy Gang to do their bits from their stage shows.
Yeah, it's like a wraparound for like a special kind of thing.
Some of these work, some don't, and in that lies the enjoyment of this film. They're singing, dancing, blackface, and wrestling.
Sounds like a movie from 1937.
The wrestler of this film is Jan Gotch, who is playing a wrestler, while one of our comedians provides commentary on his match.
That's not the Gotch everybody knows. Who's Jan Gotch?
I believe it's probably his brother.
Yeah, or like the namesake that he takes later.
Yeah. I gave this movie a 2.5 and a wrestler performance of 3.0.
Because he actually wrestled in it?
Because he actually did wrestle.
There you go. It's nice to see that.
And that was actually one of the better segments
Of the movie.
of the movie was the wrestling segment.
Yeah. I can't say I'm super interested in this one. I have an issue with like trading words real fast and not actually being funny because it's from 37. And comedy, it's a tough thing to age well. Some of it does.
But if it does sound interesting, I did find a copy of it on YouTube.
Oh.
So go out there and try and watch it that way. Next week, I think we've mentioned it, but we're going to the Raw the very next night on February 15th. Music from this week's show is Will You Be My Valentine by Jim Johnston, and Stone Cold won our main event, and he has new music.
Does he?
It's still basically the same. It's
like
just a new version, but they gave it a new name. I Won't Do What You Tell Me by Jim Johnston.
Sounds like it should be the name of the DX song because that's the chorus from Rage Against the Machine song, and the DX song sounds like a Rage Against the Machine song. But Jim Johnston probably isn't listening to Rage Against the Machine.
Oh, I bet he is, actually.
I mean, it's a good point because it's probably maybe not his preferred type of music, but he's pulling from places like that to write these riffs.
And if you like this episode or any of our other ones, please go out there, rate and review us on iTunes, Spotify, YouTube, or wherever you find your podcast at. If you're doing the YouTube thing, make sure you like, subscribe, hit the bell for notifications.
Comment, I guess that's good.
Yeah, commenting is always good.
We always like to see.
And if you have any other comments, questions, recipes of some sort, questions, that's the other one.
Concerns,
that was like,
if you're concerned about Shane, he's happy, healthy, and absolutely safe. And he'll be back soon.
But you can email us those things at wrestlinghistoryx@gmail.com. Next week we're going to Alabama.
Bama?
So, yeah, Bama.
That's Roll Tide, right?
Roll Tide.
I'm sure you hated that.
Go War Eagle. I don't really care either way.
Yeah.
But you can send any of those things. I already said email. You can also send it to X, Wrestling Histo X. That's Wrestling HISTO X. We'll talk to you next week.
Later.